Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Dr. Glenn Vo, and I am live at SmileCon. And I have like a special guest. This is someone I've looked up to for a long time. He is a fellow dentist, but he's also an amazing entrepreneur. But you guys might know him better as the founder of Lumadent, Dr. Don Tan. Don, how are you?
Oh, very good. Nice to have you. Nice to be here.
Well, I'm excited about this because I'm going to let everyone know that he's an amazing entrepreneur, amazing person, very generous with his time. He's given me a lot of advice over the years. One of the best advice was talking about like dental cabinetry years ago. But the thing is he doesn't come out there and he doesn't like, he's kind of like hidden a little bit. He's behind the scenes. Well, we've unveiled, I told him, you're no longer to be behind the scenes. You're coming out, the whole Nifty, Thrifty community, honestly, dentistry, because everyone's going to say, who is Dr. Don Tan who founded Lumadent? Well, now you're going to see him. So, Don, no more secrets. You're no longer dentistry's best sketcher. You're out there.
All right. Let's get to it.
Okay,
All
so
right.
Don, I want to start with this because again, you're a practicing dentist. Let's talk about when did you graduate? How long did you practice for? Are you still practicing? Talk about that. Your dental journey.
So, dental journey. That's a long story. Well, that's a long story. 30 minutes won't cover that. That's for sure. I graduated from USC 1997.
Okay.
Been practicing a long time there. Gaining a lot of experience over the years.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot from community like your community.
Yeah.
Or community like a dental town.
Oh, of course.
And
Yeah. I got a lot of advice from you from some of your dental town posts. Again, I let everyone know that the way I have, if you've been to my practice, for those who are watching, and you see like how my cabinets are, I learned it from this guy. This guy had like the best advice when it comes to cabinets. But Don, I've just noticed even back then, like you're the type of person who like to give free the knowledge. You gave a lot of dental knowledge as well. And then, I felt like I was there when Lumadent started. So look, well, how did you, make that transition from, just taking care of patients, giving advice to young dentists like myself, to then you create Lumadent, which is at every show, almost every dentist use Lumadent, the lights, that's loupes. What made you kind of jump over to that and start? And where did it start? Was it it's kind of like the chicken or the egg. Was it the light first, then the loop, or the loop first, then the light? How did it start?
Well, it's a story coming from that IKEA cabinet there.
Yeah.
For me, I like to always find a way to, how do I get things done in a way that inexpensive,
Sure.
in a way that create value, in a way that modular, and that's what I'm looking at. So I go back to IKEA there. IKEA is a modular cabinet.
Yeah.
You can buy the front and the back separately, and you put together yourself. That's value.
Yeah.
You like to do things, that's value.
Yeah.
Now, it comes to the light. During that time, more than a decade ago, in Dental Town, we have a thread going on. How do we make the light inexpensive enough that we can put it on everybody, not just a dentist, hygienist, assistant. Everybody would love to have the light follow them.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where I'm coming from. The light comes first.
The light came first.
Light came first. That's right.
Now, again, what was so great and the reason why people love Lumadent so much is because, again, founded by a dentist who understands the concepts of doing in dentistry and what we need. Right. Let's talk about like the first iteration of your light. How many times did you have to how much trial and error, how many lights did you have to destroy to get the first prototype, the ones that you actually could sell?
Well, my wife practice is not too far from Lowe's.
Yeah.
So I was a customer there for a long time. They knew me. Every time they go to the same section. Whatever they have the new light come out, I come in, I bought it, and I open it up and
start playing.
Playing around with it.
Yeah.
Put different components separately together, things like that. So that IKEA coming from there.
Yeah.
Because the light basically is a flashlight, but separate components.
Yeah. So I find it so fascinating because literally you designed the first Lumadent light, just trial and error, just putting things together, seeing what worked. Let's talk about your background. Do you have like a like engineering background?
Background, yes. Not the degree, but background, yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so,
Because again, it's like you know, this, you know, you have all these different like engineers and whatnot. They're trying to create something, but literally, you're a dentist. You know, you have some background in it,
right.
but you're a dentist like everyone else, and you create this light.
It's so that's why my story become a little bit longer if we're gonna get into it. So I was growing up in Vietnam.
Yeah,
We don't have a lot of resource back then.
yeah.
We did not have a lot of
You
resource.
just have to make do with what you have.
Exactly. Whatever we have there, that's it. Make it work.
Yeah,
So I learned how to make things out of nothing.
yeah,
Well, I dropped out of high school just to escape to come to America.
yeah.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that American took me in. I went to community college and I went to UCLA for engineering. I did not make it there.
Yeah.
I dropped out.
Wow.
But I dropped out to go to USC dental school. The only degree I have is a DDS degree from USC.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But you know, because you have this immigrant background, because you're used to being resourceful, because that's the main thing. When you come here with nothing, you become very resourceful. You figure out how to make things work.
Right.
And that resourcefulness kind of came with you in dentistry when we talked about the IKEA cabinets, because again, I got the idea of the IKEA cabinets from Don here, right? Like he had a whole thread on Dental Town, and I was doing a startup, and I was trying to save. And I remember sending you a message. I need to actually screenshot that and send it to you, but a little bit. And he spent the time to get back to you. But again, when you saw us fellow dentists dealing with the lights, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not working for us. Maybe it's really expensive. You're like, you know what? Let me see what I can do. And again, you did this light here. Now, again, there's been so many different versions of it.
Right.
And for those who love like the entrepreneur story, so you literally did everything yourself. But now I will let you guys know. I mean, Don has like a great team, a massive team. Don, I have to ask you, now that Lumadent is kind of almost like an established name, are you still tinkering? Do you still tinkering around the designs? Do you still do that?
Oh, yes, of course. Of course. I love that. You cannot get away from that.
I love
and
that.
How you get the product better, because you get a chance to work in office, work alongside with a lot of people in office. You hear the complaint, you hear the concern, you hear the suggestion, and from there, you take it in, and your mind thinking.
And you started to make it better.
Of course, you have to make better. You have to compete to make better. The only way you compete nowadays is making better.
Well, and so again, so what you're saying is that you're still involved in the process of actually the production and whatnot. You're still part of that.
Oh yeah, come to the office in Reno.
Oh,
I'll show you things around how we make from a loops all the way down to
Really?
a picture all the way to the loops. Everything in Reno, Nevada.
Oh wow!
Just come by.
So you're not just on a beach somewhere drinking pina coladas.
Maybe next 10 years. I'm still going.
So let's shift a little bit. So started with the light, and you worked out. And while you were doing this, let me ask you this: to see where you're at right now from Lumadent, right? We're gonna put the dentistry aside, because I think a lot of times my parents they say, hey, we've kind of exceeded their wildest dreams. I'm in a family. There's me and there's two other doctors, right? And so, my parents came over here with nothing, came after the war, and they just wanted us to be educated. So I think that we far exceeded what they hoped for. And for you, just becoming a dentist, that's a big deal, right? That's a big deal. We understand that's a big deal. But you created this company to it. Now, I want to ask you right now, in your wildest dreams, did you ever imagine Lumadent to be like this?
No.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
Yeah, see, I love that, because again, a lot of times you started this because you wanted to solve a problem. So you did the light. So from designing the light, was your whole purpose okay, I want to design this so I can sell this as another business? Was that, or was it just I want to design a light so I can just for myself and for some of my friends?
Well, the light actually is. I designed the light because my wife is a dentist.
Yeah.
And she bought her own office.
Yeah.
And the office doesn't have an overhead light.
Oh wow.
So the office was relying on basically the fiber optics and their own minor headlight.
Yeah.
So we went together to the CDA in San Francisco back there, and said, I want this light. And I walk up and say, 1,000 a piece, and I need 5. And well, I said, wow, I need 5. I said, okay, can I have a month? So that's why I said, no, I think I can do something like this.
Yeah.
I can make something out of it. Because I can see the light is very component. The same thing like here, you can put things together separately and how you package it to make the light. Of course, the first prototype came out and she like, oh, that look good. It works, but you have to make it better.
Yeah.
Don, you cannot sell this anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's the first iteration. But let me ask you. Yeah. But she used it though.
She used it. So she did. I'll pay her to do R&D for me. It's a free R&D.
Yeah.
My staff working with that, and there's R&D also. Actually, my dental assistant
was the first Lumadent employee.
Yes.
Wow.
Lumadent. Oh, so the dental assistant is his first job.
Yeah.
And in my wife practice.
Yeah.
And he's, very well with his hand. He understands tooling, all of that.
Yeah.
So we took him in as a first employee of Lumadent.
Now, Lumadent, I have to ask you this. So I'm just so fascinated by this story because, again, immigrant background, you're used to being resourceful. And this was because like most good products, there was a problem. You just want to solve a problem, right? You weren't trying to make some money, you solve a problem. But then as you went down this process, at what point did you feel like, I think I can take this to market. I think I can create a company out of this. At what point?
At what point is when it began to catch on in Dental Town.
Yeah. Because I think you just started by just selling a couple of them, just really small,
Yeah, it's just solving a problem.
Yeah.
It's not really selling, it's just solving a problem.
Yeah.
And the problem, I put out there, the solution out there, and people say, hey, Don, I want to get it.
Yeah.
I say, okay, how? Then you have to learn how to do e-commerce, put up on website, and put up PayPal, link to PayPal, all of that. So that evolved over the time. It's not like now it's very easy, but back there a lot of things you have to do yourself. You have to learn by yourself. But the bottom line is you solve a problem. If you don't solve a problem, nobody want to buy it.
I think that's business 101.
Right.
Business 101. There's got to be a problem to solve. Unfortunately, sometimes people think there's a good idea. It doesn't really solve a problem, but it's just a good. They think it's a good idea. No one wants to buy it. Right. I mean, how can a business prosper without that? So so selling on Dental Town, right? Selling Dental Town, and then again, you were solving a problem. But at what point? I mean, I guess how many sales where it's like you thought, oh my gosh, I think this is gonna, or during the process you weren't even sure.
I wasn't even sure.
Wow.
Dentistry just treat me well. I love dentistry. I come to work and I solving problem there.
Yeah.
Every day, creating smile is solving somebody else's problem.
Yeah. Of course.
And you
know
that, right?
Yeah.
So it's a process that we say begin to require more involvement, require more team to take care of all of the issue here. Before, I'm thinking, I put up online and we'll sell it, we ship it out. That's it. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
No. Not at the end of it. You have to build a relationship with your customer.
Of course.
You continue to build that, nurture that relationship to get better, which means that follow up, all of concern, all the problem, continue to solve it, and bring out what better product out of what the next product going to be.
Yeah,
because they like that.
Because again, that's how you level up the product from the first. No, I have to ask you this. There's a really popular picture of Jeff Bezos' desk. So Jeff Bezos, his first working desk was from a door. He got the door and made it into a desk.
Yes.
To this day, he still has that desk. I have to ask you this, Don. Do you still have the first prototype of the Lumadent light?
We have all of that.
Really?
Come to the office.
No way.
Come to Reno, Nevada. We're just 10 minutes away from the airport.
Oh my gosh.
40 minutes away from the Lake Tahoe. Come there, stop by. We'll show you all we have.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, again, that's and I have to. I think I'm gonna have to go out there because I want to see the first version, the one where his wife looked at him and says, "You cannot sell this," right? Like motivate him to make it better. So at what point? So let's think about. I want you to go back in time. Think about the years. At what point that you start making the transition to loops?
We make good light. The light become very popular.
Yeah.
Everybody come to the show. They can, hey, Don, I like your light. Do you have loops? And we would say, okay, we don't have it yet, but you can go to our competitor to look it up. And we never see them again.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why we say Loupes and Light is both product, but merged together.
Yeah, of course.
It's a very personalized product that live with you.
Yeah.
Stay with you, and have to stay together.
Yeah.
That's what we say. Okay, we have to do loops.
Yeah. So at what point? Because I want to get the timeline. So you started with making the lights, and then you started you started making it for other doctors because they asked for it. At what point? How many years in did you start going into the shows? Like you start having a booth at the show.
So we start Lumadent 2009.
Mm-hmm.
We released the first product 2010. We was going to the show about 2011.
Okay.
2011. 2015, that's where we start working on loops.
Oh, wow.
We're 2015 to start working on loops. For loops is very straightforward. The technology very straightforward. You're talking about Gallium loops, the prism loop, the traditional loop. Very straightforward.
Yeah.
But those loops is the one that is I would say the precursor of the Ergo prism loop.
Well, and I want to talk about that because that is probably, obviously the Lumadent light. I love you just telling that story. That's a legend. That's the game changer, right? That's the game changer. Now everybody wants to be like a Lumadent. That's the game changer. But I will tell you about the Ergo prism loops. People talk about that all the time. They talk about all the time. Talk me through that process because, again, it's so the reason why it's so popular is so different. It's so different. Talk about the process. How involved were you with the design, and how many times did you guys work something and you had to just, okay, this is not gonna work. You throw in a try. How much material did you use to try to develop that?
Luckily, there's a lot of design happen on computer.
Okay,
so
that's good.
We did trash. We did delete a lot of file on computer, so that we can keep everything very streamlined.
Yeah.
The process very streamlined and efficient. And the process to go there. So like I said, the loops and light go together. But traditional loop, you always have to connect your eyes to your teeth, to the teeth. One straight line. You cannot move away from it. So a lot of people develop neck pain problem with that. How do we solve that problem? Again, the pain.
Yeah.
Pain problem. We have to solve that. As a professional, we have to solve that. So that presents to Lumadent an opportunity for us to go out there and do something new, do something so different, do something that really help all of dental professionals. But to keep it simple, the light path going from the target here, going to your eyes, the straight path.
Yeah.
So you have to bend your neck to keep that path, to see that path. Right. With the Ergo prism, we have a prism in between, so the prism will bend the light.
So that way you don't have to turn your neck down.
That's right. You keep your neck straight, but what bending is the light the bending.
Was this from the motivation to create that? Was that just from doctors complaining to you about like, hey, my neck, or is it just something that you just kind of watched and saw over time? Like, I think that we can make this better.
No, actually immediately. So we make loops in 2015.
Yeah.
And immediately a lot of people was called, Don, I love your loop. I love the magnification. I love the clarity, all that. But can you make it steeper? Can you make it steeper? So I say,
yeah,
I know that problem.
You've dealt with that problem.
I dealt with problem before.
Yeah.
I was looking for solution back there. I didn't have any solution, so I was living with it back there. So yes, it's my chance here.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Glenn.
So from that epiphany to actually finishing, how long did it take? The finished product, to market.
About 3 years.
Wow.
That 3 years. Yes.
I think a lot of times people don't respect how long things take from concept in your head to actually, they think okay, I have this idea, let's just get the engineers put it together, get the people to put it together, but it takes some time, you know?
It took 3 years. So we start loops in 2015, 2016. That's why we say we need to have a better loops.
Yeah.
We cannot be having the same loops since dental school. I went to dental school and I saw the same loops since dental school. That was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
We have to have a better loop for our professional. We have a better way to work for our professional. So that was our chance to make it happen. So 2015, 2016, that what we look onto that, and 2019, that's what we launched the product. That's where the world began. Oh, I can practice like that. I can practice like this. I look out like this, and I work like this. That's impossible.
So again, I know it's hard. It's hard to choose because it's like picking your favorite kid, right? You can't do that. But if you had to, what is your favorite product that Lumadent has rolled out that you've been a part of? Favorite?
The favorite one would be the HL. I would put it. Oh, that's tough. We have a couple.
Yeah. Just pick
we
one.
We have a couple here.
The one. Let's put it this way. Maybe not favorite. What's the most impactful for you? Like, like you think back. You always look back. Like, wow, that was a game changer for us.
Well, thank you for putting that impactful. The most impactful. That's the easy question. That could be the Ergo Prism loops.
Yeah.
Because you can see that in the customer eyes. You can see that when you talk to them, when you put it, and you see that feeling in your eye. They say, "Wow, I can work like this." So I've been working, looking down like this, and I thought it's normal. That's a part of a job, a part of the profession.
Yeah.
But no, it's not. You don't have to be that. You can look straight. I think when you were born, you look like this.
Yeah.
You were born like this. You go back around, you go like this. When you go to dental school, like what happened? Your teeth over here. Right? Your teeth are here.
Yeah.
And that's what you look down. And you think that comes all the way through. Now, this Ergo Prism Loop gives you another chance to go back to yourself.
Oh, I love that.
Just to bring it back to be where you were born with.
Yeah, where you're supposed to be. Natural. Right? And again, when you get hurt is when you do unnatural movements or unnatural posture. That's where injuries come. Wow. So the most impactful. That's great because again, the light, that was impactful. That changed the industry. Basically it caused more people to start copying, start doing. The lights became more important, but it changed the way we practice dentistry. And again, I feel that these loops also changed the way you practice dentistry as well.
Definitely yes. You go to our Google review, look up those 5.0 review. They changed so many people's life, and that's so impactful for me. I'm sitting here, but all of the customers that came to the office during the pandemic time, they came in just to have us to make a loop so that they walk, so they can go home with the loops that solve the problem.
They came during the pandemic. They came to the office,
right?
Because there's no shows. They came to the office to get their loops.
That's right.
Really?
Yes. They say yes. A lot of things closing now, but we still open here. Limited open. You can come in. We can measure. We can make the loop in the office. You walk out with the loops with the device that solve the problem. Then you can go back to work in the way that you're supposed to be. Your posture is supposed to be that way.
Well, Don, we can talk all day, but I'm going to pivot a little bit because whenever I have an amazing entrepreneur like you, I have to get these questions answered. And honestly, there's not just myself, there's other people in the industry that look up to you. They love your story. So I want to ask you some business questions now. I can't bring a good entrepreneur on here, a great businessman, and not ask you these business questions. So the first thing I want to ask you is this. For someone who is starting out, they're doing a startup too. They have something that they're passionate about. They see a problem they want to fix, and they're just starting out. What's some advice you would give to them? And I'm sure you have a lot of entrepreneurs ask you questions all the time. Like, but if they're starting on something, I'm not even saying like loops or anything, but they have something they're passionate. I'm going to do this. I want to solve this problem. What is your advice to them?
Well, you're talking about people that avoid failure. I failed before many times.
Yeah.
So number one thing I would say, go out and read.
Yeah.
Read.
Learn.
Learn. made as many. Nowadays, you have so many resources out there. His website is one. In order to go back and read all of the posts there, spend time with that. Dental Town, Dental Natural. There's a lot of the Facebook group that you cannot have enough time to learn all of this. But there are great people in there. You gotta learn before we say something. Yeah. Just learn a lot of things.
I love that. I love that. Now, what is it's either a tool or a tactic or strategy that has helped you as an entrepreneur? For example, I'll give you an example. Some people, they have a morning routine that they do all the time, every morning. They do the same thing every morning, right? Maybe they get up really early to exercise. What is a routine that you use that's helped you as an entrepreneur?
I would say number one would be the will.
Oh, that's huge.
The will to see things through it. Then you will find yourself and align your resource to make it happen.
Yeah, because again, so many times people, they have ideas and they just don't follow through it. Maybe they just quit too early or they don't even have the determination. Would you say that part of the will is you have to be somewhat stubborn too?
Well, that could be.
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna do this. I don't care. I'm just gonna push through.
You do care. Number one, you do care, but you have the will to say, I can see the final product. I can see my final destination. I can see the moon, so it can be there. Yeah. I can see the moon, so it can be there. But if you don't see it, then you don't know how to get there. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So you look at when we look back at our Ergo Prism loops, I would say that's the moonshot for us. That's the moonshot for us. It's solving a problem that consistent being the problem is the problem with our profession for a long time. It's not new, but we don't have a solution until we say, okay, we have to make it.
I love that. Now, you brought this up already, so I'm going to ask you again. A lot of times I feel that when you fail, you learn more than you succeed. Would you agree? A lot of times you learn from failures there. And if you're talking to me, I'm the type of person, I make a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes, right? Let me ask you this. You have to pick one, okay? Pick one mistake that you learn something significant from that another person can learn from. You got to pick one. Again, let's say something big, like you made a mistake and you're like, oh, I learned this is a good lesson, but something that someone can benefit from too. Maybe they don't make the same mistake.
I start my first dental office 1 month after my graduate from dental school. That's the biggest mistake ever. I did not learn enough. Yeah. I did not learn enough. Yeah. So I thought I knew how to cut, fix teeth. I thought I can solve that problem, but no. Yeah. Dentistry is a lifetime learning. So we just have to keep learning. Yeah. And nowadays there's many resources to learn. So that's awesome for all of the new guy come out there or new girl come out there. It's awesome. It's great.
I mean, I think that's something to learn. Again, continually learning, but also being prepared too. You have to be prepared there. Okay, well, look, I could talk to you all day. This is amazing. We'll talk about like special deals with Lumadent and whatnot. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna shift gears a little bit, and we're gonna walk through and look at all the product line. I'd love you to share your thoughts on each of the products. Right? Again, we don't have to talk about what each does, but there's for every product over there, I'm sure there's always a story. So let's go take a look at that. All right, so we are over here where the Lumadent booth is. Nice booth right here at SmileCon. And I wanted to talk to you about some of the products and just walk us through like kind of demonstration of what they do and whatnot. So go ahead and grab something and then let's talk it through.
Sure. So we have this one we call Ergo Air. This is the third generation of the Ergo Prism that we have. The first one was 2019. Okay. And this is 2023. So
it's brand new then.
It's brand new.
Yeah.
So we released the Ergo Prism in 2019. We heard a lot from our customer feedback. So we listened and we're gonna do, how do we make it better? Yeah. So this is a better product.
So what is the updates from the first generation?
So Ergo Air. Air means light.
Light. Yeah, light.
So they want lightweight, but they want more magnification. Mm-hmm. So we are able to reduce the weight, but at the same time bring up the magnification. So with Ergo Air, we can have
and hold that up and show that right there.
3 4.5 and 6.0. At the same time, we maintain this feature that they always love, the ability to change the working distance. When you turn the barrel, you can shorten or lengthen the working distance. You're working sometimes standing up, you're working sometimes sitting down, or you're some patient you cannot lean all the way back.
Yeah.
And this feature allows you to do that, allow you to change the working distance. So you have the product that working for you.
And all you have to do is just twist it. That's
right.
Oh, wow.
You have
That's
the product that you buy that working for you rather than you working
right. You have
with
to
a fix.
Yeah, you have to get in that position. Here, you can adjust that.
That's right.
And again, I think that goes back to making things that already existing better. You made something like the loops better ergonomically, but also made it more convenient for them.
That's right.
Well, let's see what else you have here.
Right. Another feature that we know that during the pandemic that we have a headlight that we switch with the switch right here. But then, we have a lot of things going on with touching.
Yeah.
So we have this battery here that we have a sensor in the front of it. So when we wave, it turn on and turn off, no touch.
Wow.
So I can hook it up. You can wave.
Wow. And there you go. You don't have to worry about getting your battery dirty. You worry about all those things there.
You don't have to de-glove or put glove back on to turn on and off.
And when was this released?
Really last year.
Wow. So again, during the pandemic, gave you a lot of time to really focus and make things better. And you have not only the air, but also this battery, this light right here.
Right. So not only that, but this new battery here is backward compatible to the headlight that you have, say, a decade ago.
Oh, wow.
So we make a component, so you don't have to buy a brand new system. You just buy that battery components, and you're back to work.
There you go. There you go. And again, that's super helpful for the doctors because a lot of times, do I have to buy this new light and everything? It's great that maybe they like what they have. It keeps on working really good, and it's working right now. So what else do we have here? Okay, let's look at this guy right here.
Yeah. So this is the Ergo Prism. This is the 5.0. For the light that we have Airlux, we have ProLux, and we have WaveLux. All three batteries can share the same headlamp.
Oh, wow.
Which means that you have one headlamp, but you can have different experience.
That's amazing.
You have no wire.
Yeah.
You have no touch, shock wire, or you have a full.
It's whatever you want.
Whatever you
want. Okay,
yeah.
So look, we just saw just a small sample of the products that Lumadent offers. You guys know the story, but you're about to hear about the Nifty deal. So right now we have a sweet deal. We have a sweet deal, right? I mean, there's a sweet deal, and again, you can only get that. We'll share that. I'm not going to even tell you what it is. I'm going to share it in the comments. I'm going to share it on site. There's a special landing page there, but you can get these prices. Don understands, right? Lumadent started because he wanted to help a dentist, which was his wife, right? It came on to other dentists like myself. And again, he's continuing that tradition, being here at SmileCon, but also getting you the special deal there. So Don, thank you so much for being on. Thank you so much for sharing the story. And guys, again, you might see him around now that he's behind. We pulled him out of the curtain. Now that everyone knows who he is, if you see him at the show, say hello to Dr. Don Tan. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.